Hello, friends. I hope everybody's doing good. Okay, so I unexpectedly came across this yard machine push blower, which has a 5 horsepower Honda engine on it, and this is from my friend. If you saw previous videos, I had a Husqvarna all-wheel drive lawnmower that I built, and he bought that. And I also did a head gasket on his Craftsman lawnmower, lawn tractor, I should say, his Craftsman lawn tractor. I replaced the head gasket on that, which, by the way, he says both machines are running good. That was back in the spring. It's fall now, so yeah, he said everything as far as that goes is running good. So we had this blower, um, and he started talking to me about it. And I told him, I said, well, I'll fix it up. I'll get it running. Give it a full service, and then you could put it for sale. He says, no, 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 I don't want to be bothered with it. He said, just give me $50 and take it. Okay, so I did. Okay, so he told me that the machine sat for about 2 years, and I could tell by the smell. It still has, unfortunately, it still has gas in it, and from the smell of the gas, it smells pretty bad. The first thing I did was check the oil. The oil's like new. I don't think he used this much. I don't think he put many hours on it. Um, so I'm just going to show you around on the machine now, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to prepare this, and I'm just going to resell it again. I mean, it couldn't have come at a better time. It's fall here, and now the leaves are falling, and people are most likely going to buy it right away. I don't have to have this hanging around for months or a year or whatever. And first thing I want to begin to do is we're going to adjust this gas tank. Okay, so I think it has about a quarter of a tank in it, and it stinks. It smells pretty bad. So what I intend to do for the first thing is I'm going to take this gas tank off. Um, and first I was going to disconnect the fuel line at the carburetor, but it's a little bit hard to get to because I don't want to introduce this bad gas into the carburetor, which I'm pretty sure the gas that's in the carburetor right now probably went bad. And this has a fuel pump on it because it has an upflow fuel line going to the carburetor. It's not like a gravity fed where the line comes down into the carburetor. So we're going to, I'll show you around first, then we're going to take the gas tank off. I'm going to dump the gas out. Well, before I go through all that, I'm going to just prime it, make sure it starts. He said he put it away running, and he's a reliable source. I believe him. But the only problem with this is it hasn't ran in about 2 years, probably at least. So, okay, so let's get on with it. Okay, one cool thing that this has, it has a height adjustment. It's for the front part of the blower. I guess you could adjust it any way you want if you want to lower it or higher it in the front. So I thought that was pretty cool. I think somewhere along the line years ago, I did have one of these and I did sell one of these. Another thing I don't like is it doesn't have pneumatic tires on it. Tires that take air. It's got these solid tires on there, so I don't know how good it is to push around on a lawn. I'm not really sure about that. And also it has the side chute, which will blow out the side, or you could push this lever down and then it'll blow out the front, like if you're doing the sidewalk or something. It has these casters on the front here, which I don't know, like I said, I don't know how it would be to push this thing across the lawn. I mean, I prefer like the one big pneumatic wheel on the front, but I'm not really sure how these casters are going to work. But I mean, I could just try it out on the front lawn once we get it running. So I checked the oil in it. The oil looks pretty new. I found a tag. There was 2 ID tags. There's a way of telling by the serial number of what year it is. Then I found an emissions tag, but sometimes that doesn't mean anything. And what it said on the emissions tag was that it was a 2007. Sometimes they put those tags on, but it's a newer machine. So I tried to decode the ID tag on it, but I didn't have much luck doing that. It was a little confusing for me. I didn't take much time to check that part out. And another thing, he lives a few miles away from me, and we have an epidemic of field mice. So since this thing was sitting for so long, I want to pull off this engine cover here, the shroud. From what I could see, it's 3 nuts that hold the recoiler on, and I think you pull the recoiler off and this cover should come right off. I just want to make sure that's clean in there, and I want to make sure the magneto, the coil and the flywheel surfaces are clean. We'll do that. But the first thing we're going to do is I'm going to pull this gas tank off, and I'm going to prime it and see if it'll fire up. I'm pretty sure it will, but we'll check it out. And so let me get set up for that, and we'll get on with pulling the tank off. Everything's going to most likely be a 10mm socket here to get the tank off and everything. And then we'll have to check the air filter and so on. But let's see if this thing will run first before we go ahead and go crazy with anything else. I got one nut down here behind the wheel. I want to bust loose. I'm going to lose the socket already. I'm just going to take this nut right off. And then we have this vent hose here. I'm going to pull that off too. And then once I get the tank off, I could take off the main fuel line that goes to the tank. I'll get that off. This has those wire clamps on it. I already started moving it, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take these needle nose. I just leave the wire clamp on there and just pull it off, and then I'll just stick it back on when it's time to put it back together. So I definitely want to do a carburetor cleaning on this. I'm really heading towards that. So there's a 1 nut down below here, and now there's 2 bolts up here with washers. And I think that's all it holds the tank on. Here comes Mr. Noisemaker. Let's see if he starts up any 2-strokes or something today. Alright, so I'm going to just tilt this way. And it has one of those stupid wire clamps on here again. So I'm just going to try to ride this thing off. I got the tank tilted so it won't spill gas, and then I'll just lean it up on the other table over here. And see if we can prime it and get it to run. Give this a little twist first. Okay, so we got that off. And I'll go set this tank over, and then I'll prepare it to, I don't know, the gas doesn't, it smells a little funky, you know? So I'm not really sure. If it has bad gas in it. I'm going to move you over a little here, and I'm going to try to prime it. Let me take off this air cleaner. cover. I mean, this thing looks like it probably never ran. It's like everything's clean, like the air filter's really clean. I don't think he really used it much. I just give that a quick blowout. I mean, when I do a resale, I always like to, you know, say I changed the air filter, I did a full service, and so this has this other little vent tube coming down from the carburetor here. So I'm going to leave the choke open. I'll put a little spray down in there. You know, I really would like to take the spark plug out, and yeah, I think I'm going to take the spark plug out and just squirt a little two-stroke mix down in there, since this thing hasn't ran in a long time, and we'll see if we can get it to do anything that way. So I'll be right back. It's a BPR 6ES, and this plug looks like it's in really good condition. I don't think he ran this thing long. You know, I think it just has really low hours on it. Alright, so in the meantime, I put some two-stroke fuel mix, like I said, down in the spark plug hole, and I just pulled it a little bit before I put the plug in it to get the excess out, because as usual I think I dumped too much in there, but I think there's enough in there to, we just want to give it a just make sure it wants to start. Or I didn't pour enough in there. I'm not really sure now. So this is basically needs nothing, you know. I may just change the oil, even though the oil looks good, because it's been in there so long. I may just do that. I try to, I'll give it some choke, I guess. See if we can get it to do anything. Oh, we gotta get the throttle. This is the throttle here, and all the way down is off. It probably has a kill switch sensor here. So we're just gonna give it a little bit of gas here, and I choked it. And let's see if we can get it to do anything. Yeah, it already sounded like it wanted to do something. Maybe I'll pour a little bit down the carburetor throat. Like I said, I don't know if I have enough fuel down in the let's choke off. You want to do it with the choke off. This way the flapper is open for the choke, and then we'll choke it and see if we get it to do anything now. Oh, I actually put the spark plug wire back on. How do you like that? Yeah. Okay, so I'm satisfied. That's enough for doing that part. Okay, so next I'm going to take off the shroud here and make sure everything is clean in there. And I'll just swing you back so you can see what's going on. So we had this in his outdoor garage, so I'm figuring that, you know, no water was ever introduced to it or anything like that, so I think we should be okay as far as that goes. Let me loosen these nuts and then I'll get the... Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that once we take the recoiler off, we get the whole shroud off. And I'll just blow it out real quick. Like I said, I'll inspect the flywheel and the magneto real quick. I may be able to get away with not cleaning the carburetor, but I think I rather would. This has these bushings in the cover here. They seem to be in there pretty good, but you don't want to lose them if they're loose in there. But oh my god, it looks like brand new in here. Take a look at this, guys. Guys, gals, friends, take a look how clean everything is in there. I just take the air gun and just blow it out real quick. I mean, I doubt there's any buildup on the coil or anything. So I'm just gonna give this thing. I'll just blow this out real quick, and I'll put that part back together. Okay, so while I had the shroud off, I just cleaned underneath the deck because it's easier to get to here. So I cleaned that off real good, and then I, you know, as you saw, yeah, you know what, I should have cleaned this off real good, but I can still clean it now. Okay, now I'm having this thought that the gas does have a little odor to it, but it doesn't look like incredibly bad. I'm thinking about just cleaning out the gas tank and putting the gas tank back on and see if she'll run good, you know. I always have that in the back of my mind now, though, with a machine like this, that just for my peace of mind, I always like to clean out the carburetor, though, you know. I think we're going to try that. I mean, it's nothing to clean out the gas tank and put the gas tank back on and give it a start and see how it runs. Let's do that. I think I'm going to do that, and I'll get right back to you. So instead of pouring the gas into a clear container so you guys could see it, I just put a funnel in my waste oil tank and I dumped it out in there, and the gas looks worse than I thought. But what I did right now is I mounted the gas tank back up and I put some gas in it, and we're going to see if it runs. And I think I'm going to end this video right here, and if you could comment me, and we'll see how it runs and everything. I mean, if it's not going to start and run bad right on camera, then we know we're going to have to take the carburetor off. But if it does run good, I'm going to ask all you friends to comment me and let me know if you think I should take the carburetor off and clean it out. So I'm going to try to start it up right now. It might take a few pulls to start because it's got that what do you call it, mechanical fuel pump on it. So let's see if I can get it to run, and we'll see how it runs. And I may shut it off and then just stick the air filter assembly back on. I left it off in case we have to prime it. Okay, so I got it on full choke. I gave it a little bit of throttle. It may not even start slow. I know. Carburetor might. Let me give it a little prime. We might end up having to take the carburetor off and clean it out. Okay, so I'm going to put the air filter on it, and then I'm going to take it off the table. And we'll start it up again. I can't give it full throttle sitting on this table here. I mean, this machine's a little bit much for the table. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and I'll get it on the ground, and we'll start it up again, and we'll see how it runs. Okay, so I'm going to be in your way a minute, just trying to get it started, and then I'm going to run it full throttle, and we'll see how it does. Well, it runs like a Honda. It idles real well. I want to turn up the idle a little bit on the high speed. Just a little bit. It seems like it could run a little faster. So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and then we'll start it up one more time. The only thing I was able to find was a base idle screw adjustment. I couldn't find any high speed. It is running fast enough, I guess. I don't want to mess with it anymore. I'm going to just give it one more full throttle, and then we're going to end this video here. And I still would like your comments. In my eyes and in my ears, it sounds pretty good to me. So maybe I'll throw a little sea foam in it and run that through it too. I have to go buy some more. Okay, so it even throttles right up with no hesitation. I'm thinking to just leave it alone. And like I said, I'll throw some sea foam in it. I'm going to give it a real good cleaning. And I'll put it out for sale. Now's the time to sell these things. I've seen them going for anywhere from $300 to $175. I'm going to ask $225 for it. I would actually settle for $175 on it. And those are the steps that you want to take when you buy something that's been sitting for 2 years. We did skip a very important step, but I feel that we could get away with not cleaning the carburetor. And that's going to be it on this video. And I want to thank everybody for watching. And I'll see you all on the next one. And stay safe.